saying that there is no more important matter for us in police work than the life and death encounters that our officers engage in during the course of their police career. The review of police officer-involved shootings is critically important to the Bureau and to the community. I believe it is incumbent upon us as police professionals and as leaders in this profession to have a robust and honest look at what we do in these encounters. I appreciate the auditor and the OIR group coming in and assisting us in reviewing the shootings that are listed in their report and making recommendations to improve our processes. I believe that we have improved over the course of the years that they've looked at us, and that we have one of the very best police departments in the United States in looking at these encounters and our review processes. They are difficult, and they are in many ways looking at split-second decisions that police officers make, and we get to do that in hindsight. And I take very seriously the look that our officers have in those moments that they have to make that decision. And even though this is a process that is difficult, we still do it in a very respectful manner. I do want to tell you, I believe that OIR has done an exceptional job in helping us. This is a review process that is ongoing. It is a difficult process for us, as the police culture sometimes can be very insular. We have opened our doors to the auditor and to OIR. They attended a police review board hearing. They went on ride-alongs with officers, including our mobile crisis unit. It is a different way to look at the police department. It is very transparent. We are willing to make changes and trying to do our very best in some difficult circumstances. As you see in the report, they made 13 recommendations. We agreed with all of the recommendations. Many of them are in process or have already been implemented. There are a couple that require bargaining, and when the opportunity arises, we'll move forward on that. We have some things in the queue that we're working on now, such as performance review evaluations for officers. But I think the 48-hour notice is another issue that we should bring up to bargaining.
Chief, on that question, if I could, just going off of what's in the record from Dan Handelman, and this may not be the appropriate forum to have this longer discussion, but can you just explain why you believe the current language in the contract requires 48-hour notice in these circumstances?
Well, there's certainly been some past practices that we've been engaged in for many years that I think impact bargaining, but specific to this, our detective division, when they're called to the scene of an officer-involved shooting, once the scene is contained and the investigative processes have started, they are then in charge of the investigation with the district attorney's office and the medical examiner. They ask for a voluntary interview with the officer. Officers usually decline to provide that voluntary interview immediately. Again, these are emotional events, and not having gone through one myself, I can only imagine the trauma that it causes to members involved in it. Officers are then given a notice, a 48-hour notice by the Professional Standards Division, that we will interview them within 48 hours, after that 48-hour time period, for a compelled interview. So they have the opportunity to do a voluntary interview at the scene. Officers have declined to do that. Some officers have provided voluntary interviews later to detectives.